guys, my name is Miracle, and thanks so much for joining today's section. And today's section is actually it's actually a very good topic I would want every young person to actually be available for. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks so much. So today we're having Mr. Tunji joining us, and okay. So we're having Mr. Tunji joining us. I'm going to read out his profile, and then we will begin. Okay. Okay, good. So, Mr. Tunji Andrews is the founder of the Awaba. He's a financial literacy advocate, a macroeconomics thought leader, and a renowned media personality. He's also an award-winning media personality with various radio shows across the country, including Nigeria, Info, Smooth FM, Classic FM, to name a few of them. So, we're going to be heading in right away, and then we will begin. Okay. Very good. Thanks so much. My brother just joined. Okay, so we will begin now, and then. Okay. Okay, so I'm heading him right now. Tunji. Okay. Tunji just joined us now. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. And thanks so much to my brother. What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji, for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much. Thank you so
It's a pleasure.
So I read out Mr. Tunji's profile already, so we're just going to give the platform to Mr. Tunji to actually speak, and then after that we ask questions. Yes.
All right. So welcome everybody. I want to thank Miracle for putting this together.
I can hear you well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, I can.
Okay, so I wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining. I do realize that this was supposed to be a live event, but because of the COVID issues, we had to, make it virtual. But thanking every single person joining, it's an honor, really. So what So please ask questions. Ask questions. Just ask questions. Once I see them, I would respond to them as we go. So the topic is investing in the future as young leaders. This is funny. This is a funny conversation. And why I say it's funny is because every single generation tends to hear this in their 20s, their 30s, when they're teenagers. They get to have this opportunity to listen to somebody who's a lot older say some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you today. But from my experience when I was in my teens and my 20s, chances are that a large portion of you are not going to listen. But then you will eventually find out that, wow, I should have listened. But it's never too late to, get your act in order. But it's always better to get it as quickly as possible. If you lay the foundations, it doesn't get difficult. Because the longer you live, the more difficult it will be to put structure to your life. So we live, we start our lives, we start to get the indications that we're pretty much adults when we get to 18. But instead of exploring life and taking it aggressively, we tend to feel we have so much time. So
Hmm.
we're like, don't worry, we'll come back to life when we are in our 30s. Um, I'm here to announce to you that it goes by very quickly. Today you're 18, tomorrow you're 28, the next day you're
Hmm.
38. That's how quickly it goes by. Um, I remember one of my friends. I did tell him on his 30th birthday. He's 44 now.
Wow.
He's a friend of mine, and I remember telling him that, yo, we met like that was 10 years ago. I remember telling him, I remember meeting you on your 30th birthday.
Hmm.
Um, that and 10 years has gone by like that. Let's get down to this hustle so that in 10 years time we can be able to look back and be happy about the last 10
Hmm.
years. um his birthday for 40 was like a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago. And I remember coming back to that same Facebook post and telling him, yo, can you remember exactly when I told you this 10 years ago? It's 10 years gone. And that is how it is.
Hmm.
um But you see, the older you get, the more you're going to start realizing things you should be doing. And the older you are, the more difficult it is to do those things.
Hmm.
So I tell people, you're so preoccupied um, with competition. Who is wearing the best designer? Who has the best iPhone? who who has the nicest shoes? You're so preoccupied. I know because I was there. You see, in your 20s, I tell people that you can literally go to sleep for your entire 20s, wake up in
Hmm.
your 30s, and still make a life for yourself, right? But just the same way you can waste that entire 20s is the same way you can waste your 30s, is the same way you can waste your 40s. So, what I would advise, and this is me in speaking to you, take all the risk you can now.
No. Hmm.
The older you get, it will be more difficult to take risks. You'll be able to take risks when you have children, when you have a spouse. You won't be able to take those risks anymore. In fact, in investing, when you are speaking to an investment advisor, the first thing they ask you is your age.
Hmm.
Because generally when you're younger you can take a lot of risk and still recover and still catch up. But when you're closer to retirement, when you're in your 40s, your 50s, they're like, yo, you need to take less risk because retirement is so close, so you don't want to take those kind of risks. And you want, because of course at this particular point your energy is not as much as it used to be. Your ability to be able to spread yourself thin is not there like it used to be. um, so you want to use these days wisely. I know we're talking about investment, but this I'm speaking is the foundation of it all. Um, your energy, your time, you realize that the older you get, you start to realize how valuable they are. Because right now you have so much of it, you have so much energy, you have so much um, time, you're not really appreciating that time and energy is really all we have as human beings. We exchange time and energy for money. You go to a job and you give them your time, you give them your energy. At the end of the month, they give you money. You invest in a stock which you've used your time and energy to get the money for. You give them your money, which is your time and your energy, literally in currency, and they give you returns on investment. So everything you have is tied to your time and energy.
Hmm.
Now, I can't say this, I can't stress this hard enough. I can't stress this hard enough. Try every single thing that you possibly can think of. There is no stupid idea. There is, I'm serious, as long as it's not illegal, there is nothing stupid. In fact, I have just started talking to people about the value of stupid ideas.
Mm.
You know, I was in a meeting recently, and somebody said an idea, and everybody turned to look at the person like, how stupid is that? And you know, from that stupid idea, somebody was trying to tell the person how stupid that idea was. And in that conversation, we came up with a fantastic idea by speaking down on that stupid idea. So really, there is no stupid idea, because that stupid idea was the birthplace of the great idea. And everything you would do in life, you know, you get to learn later that you never lose. The only time you lose is when you don't learn from a situation or an experience. That's the only time you lose. So every time you go through something that is supposedly failure, you would realize that you've learned something from it. So I started something many years ago. I started a diary. It was first paper, then it grew to be me taking videos of myself, just speaking about where I was at every single time, you know. And I've not gone back to those videos, but I can tell you that, I mean, I've been through some hell. I've been through some hell as a young person. I've gone through it. I mean, I've been in those places where on the 1st of January on a particular year, my landlord was like, you know, get out of my house, you know. And I moved out of the house that day without knowing where I was going to.
Wow.
I've been in a situation whereby I walked several miles to go and teach for 15,000 naira a month. I've been in those. You see, I'm saying all of this because you need to understand that, you know, getting to a good place doesn't come instantaneously. It doesn't come by magic. It doesn't come overnight. You know, as a matter of fact, if you do not build capacity, you are most likely to lose whatever wealth or whatever favor you get, because you don't know how to manage it. You don't appreciate it. So I'll tell you this. When we're leaving university, I know we're talking about investments. I'm going somewhere, please. You need to follow me. So when I left university, everybody around me were clear about the future. You know, even in school, this person knew he was going to go and do this. She knew she was going to go do that. Tunji was the person who didn't know what he was doing, you know. I studied physics, for most of you who don't know. So it's clear that I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. So I came out of school confused. I didn't know what to do next. And plus, the fact it even makes it worse, I didn't even come out with good grades. So it wasn't like I could just go to any job. So I had to, you know, look for a job that could at least overlook my weaknesses, as the fact that I came out with a very bad grade from school. Now, I see it as a blessing and a curse. Because it was painful in all those times. You know, when you look through Facebook, because right now you guys have so many, you know, there's Instagram, back in the day it was just Facebook, you know, and you look through Facebook and you see everybody getting married, you know, showing their new car, you know, taking pictures at the office. and you literally have nothing that you're doing. Like there's no prospects. It's like you probably didn't even have breakfast that morning. So, and you're looking at videos of people posting and giving quotes of, you know, if God is blessing you, you know, those kind of things. And you're thinking to yourself, like, yo, like, and you start to think about many things. You start to think maybe you should just end it, you know. If you are in that place right now, I want you to know that you're in good company, because there are many, many people that were in that place. But you see that place you are, do not lose the lessons of the place you are in. Somebody I used to know used to say something. He used to say, you can never learn the lessons of a face me, I face you accommodation inside a terrace apartment. You will never learn it, you know. So, and the thing is, you will not, you're unlikely to go back to that place again if you learn the lessons, but learn the lessons, because they will help you later in life when things really start to get difficult. But you see, what I'm saying is, somehow everybody went ahead, and it looked like I wasted my entire 20s, even to a large part of my 30s. But it's like I've caught up with everybody. Do you get? As in, it's not that I've just caught up with everybody. It's almost like they're looking to me for advice now. Like, yo, Tunji, I need to fix this, or Tunji, I this investment I'm looking at, how do I do it? And I'm, you know, I'm never ungrateful about where I am now, but I always remember, because I wrote those things down. I wrote down, like, yo, I just saw this person get married, and I'm struggling with feelings of jealousy. You know, I'm struggling to be happy for this person, you know, because this person really has done well for themselves. But, you know, why am I here? You know, I documented all those things so I can remember, and I'm thinking to myself, this person was so ahead of me. So, like I said, don't miss the lessons of where you are. Now, coming back to investment, money is a concept. I'm probably going to upset your thinking now. A lot of people look at money as, well, you look at money wrong. Let me just say it that way. You look at money from a wrong perspective. Money is anything you can buy, you can trade for goods and services, or you can basically trade for what you want. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be that paper thing. That is why, like now, cryptocurrencies are money. That is why gold can be used as money. That is why back in the days we had the trade by barter thing, and you could trade something and give. So anything that you can trade for something else is money. I'll even tell you some of the histories of money. The first real use of money, I think, was in the 1300s, where people found these big, huge rocks. So, as in, I'm talking about very, very huge rocks that were in the like the ocean. So, people on this particular island, they will go into the water, drag the rock out, and put the stone somewhere. So the stone was seen as the rock was seen as something of pride, of value. So I would tell people that is mine, you know, and then people would either give me stuff to get a part of it, or, you know, I would be able to go and collect something on credit based on the fact that I had this rock. You know, prior to then, it was trade by barter. I give you this, you give me that. I give you gold, you give me what do you call it, rice or corn. I give you this, you give me that. But that was the first concept of money. Now it's so ridiculous that if I were to bring a big stone, whatever the stone is made of, and I put it somewhere, everybody will laugh at me, right? It's just the same way that if you had told people about cryptocurrencies like some, I don't know, 50 years ago, they would have laughed you to scorn. So money, remove the paper from your mind when you're thinking about investment. Remove the unitary value of money when you're thinking about investment, and always think about it from the concept that it is about value. So, and I say this because if you don't understand this, you will never understand investment. Whenever you're going to invest in something, that thing must bring value. Value. It must bring value. So let's start with the traditional concepts of investment. So let's go like something like you're investing in a business. If you were to start a business tomorrow and I wanted to invest in your business, I would look at the business. I would look at how many people patronize the business. I would look at how much money the business is making. What am I looking for? Value of that business and its ability to be able to grow and pay me back return on investment. So I'm looking for value in your business. So I will give you my own value to add to your value so that you can create more value. Now, move from that business to investing in stocks. That's on the Nigeria Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange. So there's a business. It's listed on this stock exchange. I look at the business and I look at what value does this business bring. So for instance, on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I look at the value like GT Bank. What does GT Bank bring? What kind of value does GT Bank bring? Do people still go in and out of GT Bank every day? Does GT Bank trend on Twitter for good or for bad? Forget that people are complaining. They are still not left. They've not closed their GT Bank accounts. So is there value GT Bank is bringing? If it is, then this is a company I can take my value and add it to their value so that they can create more value. Cryptocurrencies, which are the ones that are most useful or the most talked about? The ones that bring value. So, and the first notable one was Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, you know, there was one point where they were making so much noise about the fact that it had a finite amount of Bitcoin in the world, so you couldn't create more, that it's that numbered, but you're breaking it into smaller bits. And I felt that was a problem, because while that is value, it means we have to keep recycling that value. And Bitcoin is not like gold. So gold is, today I need gold for my chain, next tomorrow I need it for my earring, next tomorrow I need it for my crown, so I can recycle that. Bitcoin is not the same. It's not, I can't, what is the use? Then somebody decided to create the Ethereum, which can be used for transactions. And there I saw value. I was like, this one is probably going to be the one that is going to stand out. I'm gradually being labeled right, because right now you see Bitcoin having all the issues and Ethereum beginning to go up. Because value. Do not follow the fad because there is a fad going on. No matter where there is money to be made, look for where there's value. Just the same way GT Bank is on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. There are some companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange also that I would not advise my enemy to put money into. Just because it is there doesn't mean you put your money into it. It must be a thing of value. Value, value, value. You want to invest in houses, real estate. If you invest in real estate in, I don't know, Ado-Ekiti, it's good. You may be able to sell it. If you invest in Ikorodu, for instance, it's a different level of value. If you invest in Lekki, it's a different level of value. Where are you getting value from? It's not just about investing. It's about looking for value. Now, the more astute investors are those ones who can spot value from afar. Just the same way I told you that people were looking at Bitcoin and rushing into Bitcoin, I stepped aside and said, I kind of get the idea of this cryptocurrencies thing, but this particular one called Bitcoin, I'm not too sure. What is the value here? Just that some of us own it? Except somebody continues. So I'll tell you another thing. So diamonds also are a thing of value. But you see, diamonds have been made very valuable because some people have forced demand and supply. So if there's too much supply of diamonds, those people now take away diamonds from the market and hoard it so that it becomes scarce and scarce and scarce so that the price continues to go up. Now, if Bitcoin is not going to have that, then I wonder how it will continue to go up in perpetuity. Do you get my point? But Ethereum has a standard level of why it will be useful because it's a basis for transactions. I would always continue to use it to transact. Either I'm using it to buy service or I'm using it to buy goods and services. So you have to think value about anything you're putting your money into. So what should you be investing your money in at this particular time? I would say look everywhere. I started with the point where I started with to try and show you that go crazy at this particular point. Invest in whatever you can. But as you're doing that, don't also do it stupidly. Look for value. So they're saying NFTs are the new thing. NFTs are the new fad. Okay. If it makes sense to you, sit down with it and look for value. What is this thing? What will continue to make it useful to the world in 5 years' time? If you don't think it will be useful to the world in 5 years' time, then don't invest in it. If you don't think GT Bank is going to be around in 5 years' time, then don't put your money into GT Bank. If you do not think that, I don't know, Bitcoin is going to be around in 5 years' time, then why should you put your money in it? Why? So I know that some of you like this thing. Oh, it's giving 20% interest every month. Every month like this is giving 20% interest. You know what we call those things? Ponzi's. Because the truth about it is that nothing can give you that kind of returns. And I'm saying nothing. There is no such thing. Now, can it happen that in the life cycle of a particular investment, it can do 20% in a month? Yes, it's possible. But it doesn't mean it will happen every month. It can happen once in every 2 years, but it doesn't happen every month. So once you see something telling you I can give you 20% interest every month, run, because it is a Ponzi. Now, you may think, oh, let me be the one to make the money now before it crashes. But what if it is when you put your money inside that it's going to crash? Think value. Because the reason why you put your money into it, now, let me tell you something. Investing, if you give Tunji Andrews your money to invest for you, Tunji is not going to take the money, shake it around in a box, and the money will multiply. That is not what how investment happens. Tunji will take your money and other people's money and go and invest it in something else. Maybe in buying stocks, maybe in buying cryptocurrencies, maybe in buying land. He will invest it somewhere. Then that thing will now appreciate in value. He will now sell it. He will now make profit from it and be able to give you your capital and your profit. Without that, it's not going to happen. So whenever somebody tells you, I'm going to give you 20% interest every month, ask yourself, what business gives 20% every month? Even oil and gas doesn't give 20% every month. Think about it. So what business can give you 20% every month? If you can't find, then don't put your money into it. Remember, you have to know about the business that you're putting your money into enough for you to be able to put your money into it. If you don't understand it, then maybe you should have no business investing. But if you're going to take anything from what I've said, is don't be afraid to invest. Don't be afraid to test the markets. Don't be afraid to go out and try new things. Because if you're in your 20s, and I dare say even if you're in your 30s, even if you make a mistake and you lose everything, just like I was at the point where I had nothing and everybody I knew were doing great things and I still caught up, you will still catch up. I said all those things to be able to come back here at this point and tell you, don't be afraid. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I mean, your 20s are your 20s. They're the times for you to explore. Go bungee jumping. Try hiking. Do whatever you can right now. As you grow older, you won't have the time to be able to do it. But most importantly, in everything, you have to invest in yourself. One of the things I didn't make a mistake, and I think this was, I don't think this was intentional, but I think it was what built me. I was, because I had so much time on my hand and I couldn't do stuff, I was reading a lot.
Wow.
So I had nowhere to go, and it wasn't like there were mobile phones that could preoccupy me at the time. So I kept reading to while away time. And you see, one thing about books is that they just have a way of, adding to you. So you just read so many books, and you later on you have ideas, and you think those ideas are entirely from your head. No, it's part of what the books put into you. So do as much as you possibly can to learn as much as you possibly can. Take advantage of, seminars like this or events like this. Listen, meet people a lot older than you, some people younger than you, people with more experience than you. Listen, expand your mind, grow it, aggressively grow it. It will be very, very important for you, because I will tell you this: people and investment can be emotional. Emotional. And I'll finish with this. If I see a stock on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, today it was 5 naira, tomorrow is 550, next tomorrow is 6 naira, the day after is 7 naira. After 2 weeks, it started at 5 naira, it's now at 10 naira. What most of you would do is you will be so excited that you want to go and put your money in because it's going up. That is an emotional response. If I see a stock going up like that, I have to ask 2 questions. Why is it going up? If there's no fundamental reason why it is going up, I realize that the second thing is happening. And then I'll ask, who is making it go up? Because if I want to sell my shares and I have a large portion of shares and I want to sell it, but I want to sell it at a higher price, what I will do, what most of you will not learn to do, is that I will buy up all the existing shares in the market and create artificial scarcity. Now, when there's artificial scarcity, the little that people are seeing, they will now start rushing it. And because demand and supply happens, the price will start going up. All of you will think, oh, something is happening in the company, so you are rushing in. So whenever you see "to the moon" on Twitter, ask those 2 questions. Why is it going up? And if you can't find any significant reason, is there a new investor? Is there, a new bit of news in the news stands that is making this go up? If there's nothing like that, then realize the second thing is happening. Somebody's pushing up the prices so that they will sell at the highest price, and then the market will crash. I'm sure every "to the moon" you've seen always comes back to crashing because somebody pushed it up, sold, and went away, then all of you were held with it and were now afraid, and then you start selling and it crashes again. So you can't be emotional. You have to have gone through a level of mind building to be able to take care of your investments. You can't see everything going crazy and then go crazy with the situation. You must be able to be calm enough to ask, what is going on? Who is doing this? Why are they doing this? What is behind what they are doing, so that you can be able to take the right steps. So my parting words: if you're going through very difficult times right now, you're in good company. Going through it, you will get through it, and you will be the better for it when you come out at the other end. The second thing, value is money. Time and value is money. Always look out for value. Look to give good value to get more value. You will never find returns where you do not put in value and where there's no value existing in the first place. 3 is learn not to let your emotions lead your investment decisions. Because they said if they pay, doesn't mean you should put your money into it. You get, so learn those things, and I'm sure that you'll be able to be better for it. So we can take some questions. Yeah, the time runs out.
Okay. Wow. Mr. Tunji, thank you so much. I'm really grateful, Mr. Tunji. I'm really grateful. It was like you covered 3 sectors in investment. You covered the emotional investment, you covered the life investment, you covered the wisdom investment, you covered the financial investment. Like, this is so much, so much. So much. Mr. Tunji, thank you so much. So I'm going to have a few questions because we want to make this very short. A lot of people can still watch this, so they don't. So the first question I want to ask is this: we're in a season in Africa and I think the world. I was talking to a businessman in Canada, so he was mentoring some young people, and I was talking to him about the fact that we wanted to have a conference, and it's for West Africa. He was like, "What is affecting West Africa? It's a universal thing, so it's not just Africa; it's all over the world. But just the dimensions and how it's affecting all of us." So, what advice would you give to young people in Africa and West Africa, especially here in Nigeria, that are going through a lot of things? A lot of things are happening. It's so visible. And I believe a lot of young people are going into different kind of schemes just to make money and just to do a lot of things. What advice would you give to young people going through things?
All right. So I want to say this. There is no better time to be living in Nigeria or Africa. And I'm saying this from the skill perspective. From the skill perspective, I am looking for talent on a regular basis. I'm looking to hire, but I'm not finding talent. You know why? The good ones have been poached by foreign companies, especially when you are looking in the tech space. The good ones have been poached by the foreign companies. The okay ones are being paid high money by the big fintechs in Nigeria. Do you get? So you even have people who are still learning on the job who are demanding good salaries. So, and all you need is a little bit of training here and there. Google is doing a lot of free classes right now, where they are training people on all sorts of things, from data analytics to programming. Take advantage of it. Honestly, take advantage of it. I was just thinking to myself that, if all of this was available, I probably would be a programmer right now. And the great thing about it, all these programmers are giving their services to companies across the world. Across the world. I was in a coffee shop recently, and one guy was having a meeting, and he was part of a team that were working on. So it's some sort of a payment app somewhere in Europe. So he's on their team of developers, and they were going through. I think there was an issue, so they were going through the fix and all of that. And he's in Lagos, Nigeria, here, working out of a coffee shop, being paid FX. I don't know how much they are paying him, but even if it is $1,000 a month, that is about 500K. That is well over what many people in banks that go every day 9 to 5 here get. Do you know what was even most amazing? After that meeting, he held another one 30 minutes later with another company.
Wow. Wow.
You know, and it was very funny because now that means he's probably earning from multiple. And that's not to say that he doesn't do same for other businesses or maybe other Nigerian businesses. So this is the time where you can, you know, expand and learn. And it's free to learn. It's free to learn. And you guess what? There are people that will pay you just by the fact that you've learned. So I'll tell you this. Somebody just joined our team recently, and she is a type of developer, but she just went to do a course on a particular thing. Now we need that service. Now that service, we couldn't find the top hands. The okay hands are being paid millions already. So we just found her, and we're like, we like your spirit. We know that you will learn and you would improve on this particulars. So come and join us. And we've already started paying her. Now, note that she has almost no experience in this field.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, it's almost like she's doing internship, you know, but she's already being paid. Now, the thing is, it's not like and because we know that she's just new to the job, we're not also leaving her to it. We're also putting people to, you know, put their eyes on her, you know, guide her if she makes any mistake and things like that, but she's already being paid. And I can tell you that there are many companies across Nigeria who are looking, there are so many startups that are looking for skills who can't find who to pay. And if you can be able to offer them and say, okay, see, I just started learning how to do this, but I'm improving, you know, they will more than be glad to work with you. So please do take advantage of the Google Skills for Africa, I think it's called. Take advantage of, there's also another university where you can learn all sorts of courses for free. Please take advantage. You know the great thing about the tech industry? There's almost nothing like CV. Like, oh, this is my certificate and do it. What I want to see is, what have you done before? Show me your designs. Show me the code you've written. Show me this. So if you can show me, oh, I designed this calculator. I know that with a little bit of help here and there, you can design X, Y, Z. So come do it for me. You get?
Wow.
So never, ever in your wildest imaginations, just trap yourself. This is a time for you to explore. You know, learn, offer your skills, and I'm sure people will pay for it. I will.
Wow. Wow.
I will.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji. I'm really grateful, Mr. Tunji. I'm really, really grateful. So we're going to be ending the section right now. But the last question I want to ask is, you made mention of building capacity. What would you tell young people on how to actually build capacity, or how should they see capacity building as?
So I work out a lot. So I want you to see it like building muscles. So people look at me when they see me lift and they see me do exercises, and they're like, hey, I want to start doing. So when they try the first day, they look at my videos and they think, yeah, this thing it's not important. Let me just not kill myself. Then you see those videos of, I can't kill myself. let me give you the trick. I was there. Let me even tell you, I was exactly where you were some 10 years ago. I've been working out for over 10 years. Wow. So when it looks like it's easy right now, it wasn't easy 10 years ago. So give yourself 10 years to build that capacity. So in terms of capacity building, don't be afraid because it looks so difficult right now. Just start. Decide where you want to go towards. So I decided I wanted to be built and I wanted to be fit into my 40s, my 50s. I decided long ago. So when you see me now, it's not magic, it's not rocket science. People are looking at Kate Henshaw and saying, God, when people are calling her a vampire. Kate is, let me tell you, Kate is almost a decade older than me. We ran the Lagos Marathon together. She finished 9 minutes ahead of me. That means she could have run a whole kilometer and still finished before me. In fact, she could have run 1.5 kilometers and still finished that race before me. That is how fit she is. And she's almost a decade older than me. And this is something she has been doing for many, many years. She's been fit and she's dedicated to it. So look at that from capacity building. If you want to improve, just keep doing it. It will get there. Don't look at where you are right now. Just start from wherever, decide where you're going to, and you will get there.
Wow. Mr. Tunji, I wish this section was held physically, and then would have really, I don't know, it was so painful that now they eventually closed down the school. It's really painful, but I'm hoping that one day we will have you physically. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji. So let me ask questions. Does anyone have any question before we allow Mr. Tunji leave now? If you have any question, you can ask, so we allow Mr. Tunji leave. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. Thank you so much. I know this should have been held physically, but we had issues in school, so we didn't use the place, and we're going to have Mr. Tunji physically one day, very soon, very soon.
I'll love to come. I was actually looking for the physical. I'm looking forward to the physical meetup. I love coming to those kind of environments because I was lost when I was in school. I was lost, as in, I remember when I was about graduating, I would always sit down and wonder, what am I going to do when I graduate? I was so scared. What am I going to do in my life? As in, hey, people are not going to give me pocket money anymore. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to me? So I know. I really would love to. So when school resumes and you can have physical meetups, just let me know. I'll be there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much. I want to say thank you to all of our supporters, and my brother here too is also supporting. His name is Williams. Thank you so much for supporting this. And Mr. Tunji, thank you so much. It's a great privilege to have you here.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to let Mr. Tunji know. Okay, bye. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm really grateful. Really grateful for joining this. Really grateful. Mr. Tunji really poured out himself, and I think if it's possible to watch this all over again, to actually watch, because I see that this is a great privilege for me, for him to have poured out all of himself, his history, his failures, and all of that, So please recommend this video to someone else to watch, and then he's going to bless. And I want to say thanks to everyone who's joined. My brother Williams. Thank you so much. And we're going to be having the next session by Saturday. You can follow me for more updates, and I hope this is going to actually bless you. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you some other time. Bye.